Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Bye. Next time. I have an interesting title today. Like I'm not coming up on YouTube. I can't see myself on the monitor at all. Well, I'll go with what I got. But we have a government shutdown now. And the reason I say it's aimed at us, everything they're doing right now is aimed at black people. See, what they're doing to the Hispanics, they really want to do to us, but they can't. They're trying their best to get us to come out and join those protests. And they really want us out of here, but there's just no legal way that they can do it. But knowing this regime, it doesn't have to be legal. They'll still do it anyway. But how can they get rid of 53 million of us? 43 million of us. But they'll try to get rid of as many of us as they can. Even during the shutdown, they wanted this shutdown. Trump wouldn't talk to the Democrats until the last minute and then put up all type of pictures mocking them after the meeting. Now how's a man like that negotiating in good faith? But what happened is they want the shutdown because they can make cuts and do certain things during the shutdown that they couldn't have done during the shutdown. So everything they're doing is strategic. I'm telling you, they're playing digital chess, and the Democrats are still playing on an old checkerboard. They are smarter than the Democrats in each way because the Democrats still trying to go by the law, still trying to go by the Constitution, and they're not thinking about the Constitution or the law. They don't care what the Supreme Court says. They're going to do what they want to do. And when other people are not playing by the rules, you need to stop playing by the rules. I used to have a basketball team, kids basketball team, along with the late R.J. Krause. And when we had the children playing, sometimes you would have referees who would just let the kids play any kind of way. And we would tell them, look, we teach our kids to play by the rules. And if you're going to let them play any kind of way, you're putting our kids at a disadvantage. So now we got these boys from the streets of East St. Louis. Now you don't want us to cut them loose. So they had to straighten up with that. But look, we're I'm happy that you are tuned in, but look, so they're after us even on this with this shutdown. And we have to be very careful. We haven't been involved in none of the protests, and that's why they're sending in the National Guards and all to put them in our neighborhoods so that to try to provoke us. See, they blame the Republicans are blaming the shutdown on the Democrats. But let me show you something that Trump said back when Obama was president and there was a shutdown.
Here, the Democrats are going to be blamed and the
Watch
Republicans are going
this.
to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
My, how things change, huh? Now it's everyone's fault except the president. You see, whatever happens, I'm only interested in what happens to black people. That's who I'm interested in. See, as I said before, I know there's other people who are involved, but they have to handle their own business because we've always handled ours. We never asked anyone for help. There was those who came and helped, but we didn't ask for it. They came on their own. We always handle our business on our own, and that's what others are going to have to do. We cannot get out there and help other people when we know if we get out there to help them, they're coming after us. And see, the others who they want us to help has never been our ally. They've been like honorary whites against us for a long time. Because when it came, if you notice, when it came to us against one of the other people of color, because we're not people of color, we're black people. So don't include us in that. But when it came to us against one of them, all of a sudden that person of color became like an honorary white person. If you notice, George Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon Martin, he was a Hispanic, a Latino. But if you saw the way they treated him, you would have thought he was a white man. Why? Because what he was doing was him against a black person. Anyone who does anything against black people are treated like an honorary white, even if they're not white. They're going to side with those people over us. The guy who helped Chauvin, the policeman who killed George Floyd, who murdered George Floyd. You saw the other policeman who was helping him? He was Asian. Chauvin is not a white person's name, not an Aryan white person's name. Excuse me. So you see, when it comes to people against us, no matter who they are, they automatically become an honorary white person. They're not out after these other people, they're after us. They're angry because a black man became president of the United States, and they've been on us ever since. That's when they start talking about the browning of the United States. Don't let all this stuff with these Hispanics and all. Oh, they're trying to get rid of them to stop the browning. What they really don't want is the blackening of the United States. Because they've had immigrants here all the time, come and work in the fields. This is nothing new. But now they feel that things have gotten out of hand. They helped, they fooled them by helping to elect Obama. They usually don't vote for black candidates, and they usually voted Republican. They fooled them that time, and they've been against them ever since. So let's not get it twisted. Don't ever think, oh, they after them now we can relax. We're relaxing, but not because we don't think that we're out of the woods. Just that we're not going out there getting in other folks' mess. They didn't get in ours. If anybody helped us, it was white people. Other white people doing Black Lives Matters. There have been a few others, but that was about police brutality. But no one helped us when we was fighting for our rights. Not in numbers. When we was having the dogs sicked on us and water holes and killed and beaten with batons. That was most of us. So we never asked for help. Some people may have came to help. How many other people helped in the Montgomery bus boycott? They kept riding. That was all us. So when it came to things involving people come with that police brutality stuff nowadays, Black Lives Matters and all of that. But when it came to us fighting for our rights, for our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they weren't there at the end. The Montgomery bus boycott, wasn't no white folks, nobody in there. That was all us. When it came to the really important things for us, it's all us. See, anybody can relate to police brutality. It can happen to them. Police kneeling on someone, they killing them. So that can happen to them. But I fight for our rights and life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They didn't share in that. So we have to look at that. This shutdown, don't think they're not gonna come after us in that. Everything they're doing is after us. They put these immigrants and all, they put up with them all this time. They feeling that black people have gotten too far out of hand. Now we're in another reconstruction period because every time they think black people are prospering, are beginning to get too big for our britches, they start a reconstruction period. They did it back in the 1870s when black people just about took over North Carolina, had people in the state houses, getting mayors, and these people going too far. So they had another reconstruction period, took everything black people had, took their farmland, gave it to white people, and started Jim Crow, which was a semi-form of slavery. And that lasted until the 1960s when they signed the Civil Rights Bill. So black people really only had about 60 years of what we can at least call some form of freedom. It hasn't been that long. Then for us to have a black president in just that period of time, black people evolving again economically, they have to stop it. This is nothing new. We've been through it before. And we've been through this before. See, other people just now going through it. What are they doing to these other people that they haven't already done to us? Talking about we're next. Now they're the next. We've been going through it for 400 years. The police just coming up to them, knocking them down, dragging them out of cars. They've been doing that to black people. See, now they're just not starting with you and doing all at once. But we've been going through it for 400 years. For 400 years. This is nothing new to us. It's new to you. It's not new to us. Going in your neighborhoods, you got to prove who you are. Black people have had to prove who we are every step of the way. There was a time a black person drove a new car. They got pulled over, had to prove the car was theirs. Had to prove they worked on certain jobs. If they worked on that job, had to prove that they work on that job. Everything that happened with us, we had to prove every step of the way. You got a credit card. Everybody else just go through the line. When black people start getting credit cards, you had to pull out all type of ID. Excuse me. When white people and others just walked right on through. Now when it comes to these Latinos in the sanctuary cities, I didn't exactly agree with that. They were being brought in, given money, put up in hotels, when you had homeless citizens who weren't being put up in hotels. They were given food stamps. A lot of people saying maybe we gotta go and come back across the border like an immigrant. So maybe some of those homeless people should do that. They were doing that in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. Come on now. You weren't doing that for your citizens. But yeah, you was bringing those people in here, doing all of that for them. That's why I say, I'm not crying for anyone. They're on their own. You can cry for them if you want to. You can go there and protest and help them if you want to. But I'm not going nowhere. Right now, I'm selfish. I'm selfish. I'm concerned about our people. And what's going to happen in this shutdown? I deal with what's going to happen with our people, just like other people deal with what's going to happen to theirs. They don't help us. They didn't care what happened to us. See, a lot of people, they laughing at Black Lives Matter. Every time black people had a protest, they laughed at us, the Latinos and all. But you should have saw some of their podcasters before all this started, the stuff they used to say about black people. And the comments then on the podcast. Just go look at some of those from 2024, before Trump got in. Some of those podcasters, Latino podcasters, Asian podcasters, all people of color podcasters, and the things that they were saying about black people. They were worse than the white people. The Africans too, the Jamaicans, they all made terrible podcasts about black Americans. They even said that some of them said they voted for Trump because they thought we were the immigrants, thugs and the gangsters that was going to be deported. We're not immigrants. We're some of the founders of this nation. It wasn't even a nation when our ancestors got here. Everyone else after that came to just live off the fat of the land that black people helped build. See, when the slaves came here, they didn't come here. Some of them was doctors, engineers, farmers. They had to show the white people how to smelt certain metals. They were living in log houses before the slaves showed them that. That's why the slaves had to build most of the houses. They had to show them how to plant rice, how to grow rice, and improve their agriculture. See, people think they help you out, you're freedom, let them go, but they didn't realize the diabolical people that they were dealing with. These slaves weren't no dummies when they got here. They make you think that all the slaves, they ran and caught them out in the jungle, butt naked. In Africa, they had cities, just like everyone else did. They sold, it was the people who sold people of different ethnic groups and nationalities who they were warring with. They didn't see their people, they sold their enemies. Their people was the people of their ethnic groups and nationalities. See, people in this country, black people, all we know is race. Those people know ethnic groups and nationalities just like the Hispanics does. And everyone else does. Ours was taken away from us, so all we know is we're black. We don't know our nationality or our ethnic group that our ancestors came from. So, getting back to what I was talking about, the people that they're after the most, even with the shutdown, is us. They wish they could do more to us. This stuff, Trump, people say some things like he said, black people built this nation and all that, then turned around and stopped King Holiday. Wrote an executive order to take away the Civil Rights Bill, the Voting Rights Bill. He'll get in your face, he'll say anything. But look at what he does right after he says. Every time he says something good about black people, boast about black people on something, he turn around and do an executive order against us. Black people built this country, then turned around and voted and signed all these bills against us. All the 14th Amendment was for the children of slaves. And then you hear Latinos talking about Trump gave us. Trump didn't give us nothing. He just quoted what was already in the Constitution. And he hates that it's there. He hates that that's in the Constitution. Because the way he's talking now, he don't care about birthright. They want this nation to be about 100 million people, all white. And Trump is not the architect behind this. He don't have that. Look at the things that's happening. Trump don't have those kind of brains. It's Stephen Miller and other people who's behind all of this. Stephen Miller is the architect of Project 2025. And you know what? Most of the stuff in Project 2025 going to hurt white people even more. See, this is one reconstruction that's not going to hurt black people. It's going to hurt more white people. But they go along with it because anything they think going to hurt black people, they're for it. But this Project 2025 is going to hurt white people a lot. It's hurting them right now more than it's hurting us. You know why? We're used to this. They're not. See, this is one altogether different reconstruction. This reconstruction is not just reconstruction for black people. It's a reconstruction for white people too. Look at Trump. What he did. He gave $20 billion to bail out Argentina farmers, but didn't give the white farmers anything. I can't say black farmers because they never gave the black farmers anything anyway. But they never gave the black farmers anything. I don't seem to be coming up on YouTube. Yeah, but they never gave the black farmers anything. So you know, so black people want we don't really look for anything from this government. We've gotten used to it. We don't really look for anything from it. Let me turn this so it won't come up. We don't look for anything from them. The black farmers never, it didn't make any difference if the Democrats or Republicans were in office. The black farmers didn't get anything. Now, the white farmers got COVID relief, they got subsidies, so some of them even got money to not farm. See, black farmers couldn't get in on that soybean to China deal. They weren't allowed to. So the black farmers sold things where they took it to market and just sold themselves. They had to start their own market to sell their stuff. They didn't get anything during COVID relief, and this was under Biden. So they sued and won the suit. And the white farmers countersued, wanted some of the black farmers' money. So they just threw the whole thing out, which that's something I never heard of before. Look, I got my cash up there. Look, donate to me if you can, because I want to keep doing this and start bringing my guests in. But look, so they're going to try to cut a lot of things during this shutdown. And who do you think is going to be against? Their favorite whooping boy, black people. They just wish so bad that they could do certain things to us that they just can't do, but they may find a way because they're not following the law. That's why they're whipping the Democrats, because the Democrats are trying to follow the law, the Constitution, but these people aren't following anything, whatever they want to do. And when you try to play by the rules when other people are not, you're putting yourself as a disadvantage. I mean, the Democrats are getting clobbered. Trump wanted a shutdown so he can make those cuts that he wouldn't have normally been able to make. They're playing a very strategic, they're being very strategic, while the Democrats are just reacting. I'm tired of seeing all these press conferences. People all on social media telling you what Trump did and what he is. We know all that already. Do something. Start plotting yourself. Get your strategy. Just being able to give good speeches and talk real bad about Trump, we need more than that. What are you going to do about it? Try to strategize on that. Doing it the legal way is not working. Because the courts are with him. The Supreme Court is on his side. He's got the Supreme Court. You can't get any higher than that. So black people, we gotta be careful. But we can't get involved in none of this stuff. So that when they do come after us, we'll be ready for ourselves, because no one's gonna help us. And we don't need to help them. I'm not helping no Latinos, no Jamaicans, no Haitians, no Asians, no Africans, nobody. I'm interested in black Americans because they just gonna have to make their own way like we have to make ours. Because they never been interested in us. The other black people around the world, when they were over here, they always said, "I'm not black. I'm African. I'm Nigerian. I'm Jamaican. I'm Dominican. I'm Haitian." They never wanted to be a part of us. Now they tell me we black. No, you're not. You Haitian. You African. You all that stuff you said you was. You still that. They still gonna send you away from here when they hear that accent. What about all these Arabs in these stores in the black neighborhoods? Now I know they have to be here on something. They're not all citizens. Go come get them. So we can get some more black business in here. And you black people need to start supporting them like you support these Arabs. Or Arabs as y'all call them. You support the black people like you support them. And all the black people, they don't know how to talk to you right. Those people don't talk to you right. But you still support them. And let the black people know if you're going to talk to me like that, I'm not coming in your store. Like you need to let the Arabs know that. I stay out of your store if you're not going to talk to me right. They can slap you upside the head and you'll keep coming. Black person slaps you upside the head, you gonna serve him right then and there, and you and your people gonna tear his store up. But when it comes to them, you wanna boycott, and the black people gonna still keep coming there after they done attack the black person. We get strategic with them, but we go hood on our own. But we're gonna have to do something together because look, they come after us physically. It seems like that's the only time we really stick together. When we came after physically, like down in Alabama, people just will have to do something to us physically before we'll come together and fight with each other. Is that what it's gonna take? That may be what it takes. We have to be attacked physically. And if they attack us physically, don't you all stand there and take that, do to them what you would do to one of us? Oh, they got the army, they got this and that. Look, we are not the only people. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying just in case. All over the world, armies have came after people who they greatly overmatched. And I tell you right now, these armies, they're not good at boots on the ground. Why do you think they do all that bombing from the air? They tried in Iraq, in Afghanistan. They kill a lot of people, but do they achieve their objective? And they went in Afghanistan to remove the Taliban. That 20 years poured out who's still in charge in Afghanistan? The Taliban. They went into Iraq, killed a lot of people. Did they achieve their objective? No. Just left the nation in turmoil, but they didn't achieve their objective. There was no weapons of mass destruction. They knew that. And if they did have weapons of mass destruction, that's their business. You got them. See, if you notice, anyone besides Caucasian nations who get nuclear weapons, they complain about it. Well, I better start saying unalive. They get you for saying the K word. See, they want to be able to unalive people in numbers, but they don't want other people to have the right. How can I have all type of weapons in my house? Then you go get a 22 revolver, gonna tell you can't have it. If you start getting weapons, gonna tell you call the police. They got weapons. I can have them, but you can't. It's none of your business what other people have in their nation. As I was saying, if people gonna attack you, you gotta fight back anyway. There's gonna be some people unalive, but they're gonna do it anyway if you don't fight back. One thing about bullies, if they see you gonna fight, they don't want civil war in this nation. It's headed to it. But see, one thing about it, we won't be fighting by ourselves. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but just in case, we're gonna have some allies because because you know why? What's going on now is affecting white people also. Many of the MAGA people, and they're not like us. They don't believe in that peaceful stuff. See that peaceful protest? That's for us. They don't believe in peaceful protest. See, they just about took over Black Lives Matter. Black people actually stopped protesting after Michael Brown and after Ferguson. Not in numbers, because I covered a lot of them. Most of those Black Lives Matter protests, there weren't that many black people there. Some of them, there weren't any black people. That's why, and you will notice, when white people took it over, that's when they started getting violent. They went in that police station in Minnesota, ran the police out, and burnt it down. Because black people couldn't have ran in there. There would have been black bodies all over the steps. They did that. They were the 7-Eleven over in St. Louis, Missouri. Black people know that that's where black folks went. When no black people had burnt that down. And now there's nothing there. They're not no peaceful people. That's for us. That's not for them. They want us to be peaceful. Well, they do it any way they want to. But that's why I never joined. I told you before, I never joined any protests. I live stream and recording because that's my job. That's what I do. But the reason I never joined protests because I don't want to mess with the protests because I don't believe in peaceful protests. I told you before. You can't hurt me. I'm sitting there all messed up. Then you talk about them not get ready to retaliate. You talk about I got to be peaceful. You weren't peaceful. Let me mess you up. Then maybe we can sit down and have some peace and talk. But both of us going to have to be messed up for us to talk. I got to get my licks in. Then we can talk. But that's basically what they've done to black people. They get their licks in. Then when it's time for us to put in some licks, it's time to talk. Be peaceful. That's that old 1960 civil rights strategy. Martin Luther King strategy. This is 2021. They don't understand peace anymore. I'm not telling anybody what to get out there and do. I'm just saying what I know, my strategy. You see those Latino, they getting out there. Most of them peaceful. Look at what's happening to them. But they did get put a little out there in Los Angeles. And now you know what they're talking about doing? Going to Portland, Oregon. Sending the military in there. Portland, Oregon is a city of 650,000 people. 5% is black, 10% Hispanic. It's mostly white. They're coming for white folks now. And that's not going to work. Like I said, white folks not going to put up with it. White folks will tear this country up. They're not like us. They haven't been pacified like us. They tore Washington, D.C. up back in the 1800s over some jobs. They will burn it down. You haven't seen any rioting. You haven't seen any protests until you make white folks get out there and do it. They're not going to play with it like we do. No, they're not going to play with it. And that's what Portland is. Portland, you see the people protesting the military coming in. Those are mostly white people and Latinos. I mean, Portland, you got that. You got a city of mostly white people they're talking about coming into now. See, white people realize they are after poor white folks also. They've always been. Poor whites have never meant anything to them. They just gave you a certain status to help you keep you in line to give you somebody to look down on, which was us. They have you see, white people really don't make that much more money than black people. The difference here is they was able to get a line of credit that black people couldn't get because this nation operates on credit, not cash. Let's say a person is worth $1 billion, like Kanye West was. He's worth $4 billion, supposed to have been the richest black person in the history of the United States. But that's not in cash or property. That $4 billion is future contracts, property, and potential of so that was what he could borrow, and his line of credit. That's mostly what that is. When you're a billionaire, that don't mean you got $4 billion in cash and assets. It has to do with your credit power, and even like with Kanye, future contracts here, like his contract with Nike and all. You see, when they took all that away, he was no longer a billionaire. So this nation is not ran by cash. But black people can have, to mention, have more cash than the white people do, but they don't have the lines of credit. So we have to learn the system also. But many black people, when you try to teach it to them, they don't want to hear it. They do not want to hear it. But then when trouble comes, they want to know why they don't know what to do. I try to tell black people how to learn the law. They want to go by how they feel. Think they can go into court and tell the judge how they feel about it. They don't care about how you feel. They're going to judge you by the law, which is tilted against you. You would have known that had you looked for yourself or listened to people who's trying to tell you. Your feelings don't mean nothing to these other people. Your feelings don't really not to anyone. Your feelings only matter to you. And when these people come, you better know something. And you better be ready. They're not going to play with you. They want us out of here. That's what they really want. But they know they can't do that. Well, by law, they may try it anyway. But I said, don't give them a reason. Let's stay out of everybody else's mess. Because I tell you, if they was to come for us, these people are not going to get in ours. Or they're going to do a lot of stuff against us during this lockdown. And no one's going to help us. We're going to be on our own. Maybe a few white people help us. But these Latinos and all of them, they're not going to help us. They've always made fun of us because they were honorary whites. I told you George Zimmerman was a Latino. He was Hispanic. But they treated him like an honorary white because he did something to a black person. Anytime it was us against them, they sided with them. Treated them like they were honorary whites to help them get us. Yep. Long as Hispanics was against us, they were treated like honorary whites. But when they helped to elect Obama, that angered them. Because they always voted Republican and they never voted for black candidates. It surprised me. Because I lived around them in Los Angeles. They hate us. The leader of the MS-13, he was in prison. I told you this before. He told the ones who was on the streets, he wanted all black people removed from their neighborhoods, which it wasn't their neighborhood. But you know, they didn't go after the Bloods and the Crips or any of the gangbangers. You know, they were too afraid to do that. They'd find a senior sitting on the bus stop, old man, shoot him in the head, stuff like that. And the Crips and Bloods did nothing about that. Still, they came on your turf, killed a black person. Should have done something about that, even if he wasn't a Blood or Crip. They wouldn't have stood for you coming in their neighborhood, killing their seniors. But that's to show you, they cared nothing about us. They hated us out in LA. All Latinos, they'll tell you about how bad the white man treat them. But yet they licked up behind them and said all their hate for black people. You don't know how many of them I think get smashed in the mouth trying to talk against black women. And the black men didn't put up with it. Call them big booty mamas. So what? Black women don't supposed to be built like your women. They're not your women. We don't talk about your women because we deal with our women. They can be big booty mamas if they want to. It's none of your business. Mind your own business. We wouldn't worry about what your women were. We don't expect black people to be built and look like your woman. We got our own. We need to quit letting people make us ashamed of what we are. Black women got big butts. That's their business. What you worry about it for? We're not worried about your women, what your women were. We didn't come on the job trying to put down your women. What you gonna try to put on ours? I said a lot of them got smacked in the mouth for it. One thing I say about it though, no matter what black men and black women have against each other, I do know how black men respond when men of other races talk about black women. Even ones who I've known black men who's married to white women, have white girlfriends, they wouldn't allow them to speak against black women. If you remember Kevin Samuels on his show, no matter what he said about black women, you see when the white women called in someone other than black people, he wouldn't let them speak against black women. Now, if they had been in a relationship with a black person, he would let them talk about the relationship, but not the person. Just black women in general, or white women with black, anyone is black people. Now, you don't let them do that. Because when you do that, you're talking, that's in the family. You're talking against the race. That's for the family to do. Black men and black women want to talk about each other. That's our business. But no one else has no business getting involved in it. That's our business, what we do. But black women, you got to do the same with black men because the white men I know who talk to black women, not always going with them, but just friends with them, talk with them, each one of them. And I'm talking about every last one of them. They didn't always know each other. Would tell them how the black woman would tell them how much she hates black men. If you do, you don't have to go to them with that. Like I said, a lot of the black men I know who wasn't so happy with black women, but we didn't allow other men to talk against you. Certain things you keep in your family. You may have some people in your family you can't stand, but you keep that in the family. Because I tell you one thing, when things go down, those white men you say you hate, you don't be expecting them to come protect you. I mean, those white men who you told you hate black men, those women don't be expecting that white man to come protect them. They be looking for black men to do it. Then you wonder why a lot of black men just going about their business. We gotta have each other's back. Both of us. We got to have each other's back. I don't care if you can't stand black men. I don't care if you can't stand black women. When it comes to other people, we got to have each other's back. Because these other people not going to help us. To a certain extent, they may. Because you got a lot of these white liberals, they can't stand us either. They help only to a certain extent. When it comes down, we're going to depend on each other. That's what we're going to have to do. Got to lay all that stuff aside. All this clowning each other on social media all day long. You don't see other folks doing that. all these black entertainers and celebrities outing each other, snitching on each other. You don't see other folks doing that. Well, we talking about, I don't snitch. No, we don't snitch on criminals, but on everybody else we do. Tell everything you know about folks. Then when it comes to criminals, oh, I don't tell nothing. I don't snitch. You are a snitch. You just don't snitch on criminals. All you see on social media, this person outing this person out. That's none of your business. Everybody got stuff they do. Let them do it. That's their business. Do they got to be perfect? Or we're the only people who's supposed to be perfect? I said, look, they're coming for us through this shutdown. They're going to cut a lot of stuff for us. Who's going to help us? See, these other people talk about helping with rights and issues, but they're not going to come into our neighborhood when something come against us. They're not going to. We got to handle that. So far, in our neighborhood, they haven't much been done because black people staying out of stuff. They're not engaging these troops, National Guards and all. And people, keep your, in these cities where these people at, keep your kids at home. Don't be letting them go out to all these old block parties and all that. You asking for it. Wait till this stuff is over. They like to stay home, but when they're at home, they're on the devices anyway. Stay at home and stay on the devices. Don't invite trouble. You gangbangers, cut that stuff out. Don't you tell ones in Chicago talking about the site that they get. Those gangs, if whatever the name is, Gangster Disciple, whatever. Yeah, let the National Guards come in. We ready for them. How the hell you ready for the National Guards? You shut up all your bullets, shooting it in the air and shooting it in innocent people. 9mm with 3 bullets in it. Holding your pistol sideways. Gotta shoot. Empty a whole clip to shoot somebody 10 feet away because you holding your pistol sideways. Don't know how to shoot. Can't hit nothing. That's why you gotta empty the clip. You're not gonna take on the military. You can barely take on each other. Excuse me. You can barely take on each other. How you gonna take on the military? Stop all that stuff. Lay low for now. So all of them are gone. If you try to take them on, I hope it be you they take out and not the innocent black people. We about to get sick and tired of you ourselves. Because you're the one causing all the trouble, all this high crime rate. The FBI stats say that, and this was from 2000. It may have changed, but 90% of serious crime in the black community is caused by less than 2% of the same repeat offenders between the ages of 14 and 22. That's, you guys pulling that stuff, we about tired of you too. Because you go in the average black community, most of it's crime free. It's in pockets where you are committing those crimes. Working class black people rarely commit serious crimes. It's gonna be some, it's gonna always be some. I did say 90%. But most working class people, black people with jobs don't commit crime. Crime among black people has to do with economics, not because we're just inherent, it's in our nature, like white folks try to say. But it is in theirs. You know why? When you look at their demographics, they have jobs committing crime. They do it about all that. Most of their old shit, middle-aged and older people commit crimes. You don't see a lot of middle-aged and older people committing serious crimes. It's mostly among very young people. so they can have jobs, doing well, upper middle class, still committing crimes, serious crimes. But you don't see black people in that same demographic committing a lot of serious crimes. And then you know how crime is gauged? Not by actual crimes. The FBI set the crime rate by arrests. And who's arrested the most? A lot of those crime stats are from people who weren't even charged with the crime. They were just arrested for a crime. And you know what? Many times people of color who are not even black is included in our crime statistics, which inflates our crime statistics. We're not as bad at crime as people try to make us out to be. They are. And it's all coming out. See, they are admitting a lot of things. White people are getting angry and are admitting a lot of things. Even the people of color, like this Asian woman admitted. They say when she tried to get a loan to start a business, that they tell the Asians they can only get the loan if they start the business in a black area. But at the same time, she says a black person couldn't get the loans. So that's why we have all these foreigners coming in our neighborhood. They're steered in this direction. And it's hard for black people to get those loans. I have to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Give me about a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, what I was saying about the shutdown, Trump always did want to shut down. He wanted to shut down so he could do some things like cut certain people, fire people. That's why he wanted to shut down, because the Democrats tried to talk to him and he didn't want to talk to them. He had one meeting with them, then putting up social media posts mocking Jeffries and Schumer. Now how did he negotiate in good faith? They say it really wasn't a negotiation. He's got them in there and said a few things and that was it. Didn't even try to negotiate. He wanted to shut down. That's why I said before, they're mopping the floor with the Democrats. The Democrats just giving big speeches. We need more than speeches. We need you to strategize. They're not obeying the law, but you're trying to obey the law. Go after them. The only person going after them is the governor of California, Newsom. Boy, he's getting under Trump's skin. He's putting the treats out. He's putting the Trump on Trump. You see the Democrats. All they want to do is give speech, have press conferences, telling us what Trump doing. We know what he's doing. Telling us what they're trying to do. We already know all that. What are you going to do about it? Hakeem Jeffries, they made a big deal because he broke the record on how long he talked on the floor. What that accomplished? It didn't stop anything. It didn't prove anything. We're tired of speeches. Gathering together, telling, well, they're going to try this. We know they're going to try all that stuff. What you going to do to stop it? I appreciate people like Jasmine Crockett. She gets back on them. She lets you know what's going on. She stands up to them. But it takes more than her just being tough with them. We need people in place to strategize. Quit going to offense. instead of always playing catch up, being on the defense. That's not helping any. They're still doing everything that they want to do. Trump don't plan on leaving office. He wants to be a dictator, and he know he's sick. He trying to get one of his relatives in place to become president after him. They're trying to destroy the Democratic Party to be non-existent or no power. And these MAGA folks are going along with every bit of it. There's still a lot of these white folks, even though many of them are being hurt, going out of business, going bankrupt, and still backing Trump. This is a cult thing. I told people during Trump's first presidency, they're talking like Trump is a man. Trump has gone past being a man. He's not an ideology. And when people become an ideology, they're almost like a god to those people. They're following his ideology. That's how cults are formed. You wonder, how can those people follow that person in that cult? They drink the poison and all that. Drink the Kool-Aid. They do that when they're in a cult. He's an ideology. He's in their head. Anything he do is okay with them. He can destroy them. And they'll thank him for it. They're losing their forms and talking about, well, they still, some of them were against him, but some of them still saying they back Trump. Some of them have had their relatives deported who voted for Trump. They still back Trump. I mean, it can't get any worse than that. They just stand and tell you they love Trump. Love him? What you gonna love the president for? I didn't love Obama. I voted for him twice. I didn't love him. I voted for Hillary. I didn't love her. I voted for Biden. I didn't love him. I voted for Kamala. I didn't love her. I don't love no president. I don't vote for them because I love them. I'm going to love them for it. I love them because I feel like they're the best candidate. Not because I love them. That sounded creepy to me. Oh, I love Obama. What I'm doing loving him? I vote for him so he can do a job. Do his job. Not because I love him. But these people talking about how much they love Trump. Love? That's creepy to me. Love him for what? Oh, I guess they love anybody who they think gonna harm black people. But you got some black folks talking about they love him. And you got a lot of black people who were MAGA. It wasn't just black men. Because, see, it ended up with black men and black women just being a 7 percentage points different from each other. Look at the fact that there's many more black female voters than black males. Black women actually voted for Trump numeral-wise more than black men, but black men percentage-wise, so it really kind of balances itself out. But still, it don't make no excuses for the black people who voted for him and the things he said. You have some black people who agree with Charlie Kirk. And all he did was talk against black people. And you know what? Most of it wasn't even true. He twisted everything was lies. But to be honest with you, I hadn't even heard of him until he got sacrificed for the Second Amendment. That's what he said. He's going to take some people being unalived, sacrificed to support the Second Amendment. He just wasn't counting on being one of those sacrifices himself. He was cool with everybody else being a sacrifice. And so that's why they say, but you have he said black women can't form a coherent thought. They can't rationalize. You need to go to a white person because black women can't rationalize. Yet this black woman was on there talking about praising him. What's your problem? That's why even white people who were my friends on Facebook and I saw how they was mourning and praising Charlie Kirk, telling them what a good guy he was, I had to rethink them. I don't even want to be bothered with them anymore. I had one guy put on there, anyone speaking against Charlie Kirk has anything bad to say about him can unfriend me. But at the time, I didn't know who he was, and I replied, I said, look, I don't know who he is. I never heard of him before. But even if I did know, I say whatever I want to say. And you can unfriend me. When I found out who he was, I said what I want to say. He didn't unfriend me, and I don't care if he do. I said what I want to say on my page. Just like he said what he wanted to say. And that's why they say, he said people should be unalive to support and sacrifice for the Second Amendment. He was sacrificed. So do I feel sorry for his wife and kids? No. When Martin Luther King was killed, I didn't see that pity for his wife and kids. Michael Brown had a family. There was no pity for his. Trayvon Martin, they had no pity for his family. In fact, George Zimmerman texted his mother one Mother's Day said, you should have raised your son better. Her son didn't kill somebody in cold blood. He did. His mother should have raised him better. And by the way, George Zimmerman was Hispanic. He was a Latino. But he was treated like an honorary white when he did something against us. You see, George Floyd, he had a family. I didn't see no pity for his family. Breonna Taylor, who's murdered on an execution warrant, because those no-knock warrants are nothing but execution warrants. She was in her bed asleep. You know what the cop got for shooting her? 1 day in jail. That was his sentence. Breonna Taylor family need to deal with that. They need to deal with him. Wink, wink. If you know what I mean. Some of these black families need to do some family honors sometimes. Quit looking for the community. Let it go through the system. You remember years ago in Kirkwood, Missouri, there was talking about family honors. There was a black man, some black people, the police came to their house. And they said they was looking for this certain person, but his little brother was 12 years old who had a heart problem. He began to have heart problem while the police were, they scared him. The family went to help him, the police tried to stop them from helping the boy, and they helped him anyway. The boy died. You know what the police said? Now you can go make your t-shirts. So you know what the man did? He called the police out to the house. The same police came. He ambushed me. Killed him. I'm sorry, he unalived them. I shouldn't have said that word. He unalived them. And he took her family honors. They put him on death row. But he said he didn't mind. They let his little brother pass away. Sometimes it takes that. You can't look for the community always to come to your aid. Sometimes the family have to step in and deal with it yourself. We got to stop being cowards. Especially black men. We got to stop being cowards when it comes to these other people. I'm going to tell you another thing that happened. An Asian man in a beauty supply store hit a black woman in the mouth. The black men had a boycott of the store. The Asian people put up a 50% sale, 50% off on everything. The women violated the boycott and flocked to the store, which is ridiculous. You have to learn that your people, that some beauty supplies worth more than your people. One black woman getting hit in the mouth. But you know what else was I didn't agree with? The boycott. You know why? If that had been a black man hit that black woman in the mouth, you know what? Her father, her brothers, some black men whose burden she's under, her boo, her husband, whoever, they would have went in there and peeled that man's head and tore his store up. It wouldn't have been no boycott. Probably ran him out of business. But see, when it comes to these other people, all of a sudden we got to get strategic. Do the same thing to that Asian man, what you would have done to a black person. But we scared of everybody else. We gotta get strategic. We gotta boycott now. I bet those people still in business. When they harm one of us, they need to be put out of business. And we need to put them out of business. We gotta tear that place up. Like we would do a black person. We got to stop being scared of everybody else, but quick to hurt our own. We can even get in an argument with each other without it turning physical. When we get in an argument with those people, it don't turn physical. We don't mind hurting each other, but we won't hurt anyone else. Many times, even when they attack us physically. So we gotta do to them what we do to our own. And really, we should be doing worse to them than we would do to our own. But see, the thing is, when we go into a black store, no, they don't talk to you right. They disrespect. Them people don't talk to you right. They're disrespectful. But you keep going there. Some of them done slapped you. You're still going there. Talk to you any kind of way. You're still going there. Look at you and say something in a foreign language. They do that to me. I don't go there no more. The more greasy rice houses you're going to. Some people can't stand you. And they don't sell that greasy stuff over where they live at. Fried rice. They don't sell it greasy like that. No more greasy wings. They had to close one down here in this town. That one up there by on by that Crown Mart. Place was so nasty they had to close it down. Now they're back open. Black folks still running up in there. I can remember the only Asian place I've eaten at is Ginger's. Because that's in a white neighborhood and they're not gonna serve them. Have you been to the rice houses in white neighborhoods? They don't sell that old greasy stuff like they sell in the black neighborhoods. It's an entirely different menu. But they know you're gonna buy that stuff. That one down here in East St. Louis on 38th Street, they have traffic blocked. Can't even get in the street. Can't even go down 38th Street. They have the street blocked. Cars pulling in and out. Every time you go by, they made millionaires out of those people. And that money don't turn over in this community not one time. Black folks, we not broke. We got $2.3 buying power. That's more than some nations' gross national product. And I didn't say that's all our money. That's just spending power. That's not all of it. Like I said, that's just spending power. Our problem is we're not broke. We just don't spend our money right. We spend it everywhere but in our own areas. And the people in our area who we do spend it with, they don't live for it. They take the money with them. So our money turn over one time. It comes to us, to somebody else. And their neighborhood, so they take it to their neighborhood where it keeps turning over and over again. Then they get their money and our money. So they get neighborhood rich and ours look like it do. So we don't spend with each other. Then we wonder why. Why I go out and get the best deal. Keep on thinking like that and we'll stay just like we are. Remember when there used to be black stores in the black community? The liquor stores was owned by black people. The little convenience marts was owned by black people. You know what hurt that? Integration. See, integration was supposed to be we come to theirs, they come to ours. We had deseg because we went to theirs, they didn't come to ours. And I remember when a many of those when white people was leaving and black people would take over those stores, black people started going to them. Start going out in other areas to shop with white folks. You wouldn't even go to the black stores. Why do we love those folks so much? After 400 years of this BS, they keep pulling the same stuff on us over and over again. You know how I know they still pulling the same stuff? The black woman was unsuffering because they didn't get the subsidies and all the white farmers got. Do you know some white farmers talking about we ought to burn down the black farms? See, when black people are doing better than them economically, they want to burn it down. Now, don't that sound like Tulsa and Rosewood to you? When the black burn down the black people to stop them from prospering economically? And there was a lot of Tulsas in Rosewood. Those just the famous ones. There were black towns all out west that was prospering. White folks burnt them down. And I don't know why the black people wasn't ready for that. They knew how the white man was. Why did they trust him so much? They should have been ready for him. And go burn down some of theirs. Because see, that's why I say they pulling the same thing over and over again. Still want to burn stuff up. But black folks, you got gas. You got matches and fire. Don't let them burn your stuff down. If they talking about burning mine down, I go on the offense. These black people being hung on college campuses, they talking about committed suicide. Black folks, don't y'all have, they got nicks. Don't y'all have ropes? I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. They got nicks. Just like you do. Just like black folks do. When they said, well, we don't know who did it. Well, they never know who did it when it came to us. They couldn't find the black person. They found a black person. We can't keep letting folks do stuff to just keep reacting. You come hurt mine, I'm going to hurt yours. And it may not be the one who did it, but that never mattered to you when it came to us. I'm not, they say, well, you're talking about violence. Yeah, I am. Y'all talk about it, I can talk about it too. It may shut me down, do stuff, but you know, you can't keep hurting mine and think I'm not going to hurt yours. These white folks talk violence all day long against black people, all over social media. But we talking peace. They can talk it, I'm going to talk. You shut me down, you just shut me down. Now I find another way. I got a cable TV channel. I'll talk about it on that. WACL 984, I fire that back up. Got a Roku channel, they got the website ready. I'll talk about it on that. Because I'm not for all this old peace. My mind keep getting hurt. Don't nobody know what happened. Bruises all over their body, but they committed suicide. I guess they gonna say the people who were lynched and was burned at the stake committed suicide too. We gotta quit taking this stuff. Both eyes for an eye, all the teeth for a tooth. Because you always hit greater than what was brought to you. If a person hit you in the eye, you're gonna do more than just hit them in the eye, aren't you? You always respond with a greater force. Sometimes we gotta show what we can go in the offense and quit playing defense all the time. But see, we don't think diabolical like that. That's not in our nature. To just go after people for no reason. And believe me, we've been given plenty of reason, and we still don't go after people like that. Even after they've done it to us. But I don't think like that. You hurt mine, I'm coming for yours. And I don't care who you are. I give the law time to run its course. See what he's going to do. But if you don't give me justice, I'm going to get justice. And you people got these family folks didn't get justice, that's on you now. I mentioned it one time, Trayvon Martin's father. I know him, and I said something about, him avenging what happened to his son, and he texted me, and he was upset because I said that. And, but I told him, I don't, if it bothers you, I hate that it bothers you, but I didn't apologize because I meant it what I say. When I say what I mean, I don't apologize. I told him if it offended him, but I didn't apologize because if I apologized, I would have been lying because I wasn't sorry for what I said. That's why I usually don't apologize to people because I rarely say anything that I don't mean. And if I apologize to you for something I really meant, then I'm lying to you. I'm just saying it to make you feel good. Say, well, I hate that it offended you, but I still stand by what I say. Yeah, well, we gotta be for real, stop out this playing around, cause time for playing is out, I just tell you about me. We too nice. We too nice for people, and we gotta cut that out. We gotta start treating people like they treat us. Like I say, it's what we're doing. I like what black people doing right now. We're not getting in the middle of a bunch of mess, but that don't mean we gotta let people come and just hurt us, grab our people. We know the history of. They ought to know better than coming in black neighborhood with masks. You know the history of white men with masks in black neighborhoods. Don't come up in mind with that. So we're gonna have to have a little powwow. Might be me, gonna be you too. And we gotta be ready for whatever. And we all not gonna make it out of it. But we gotta stop being scared. We're too scared when it comes to other people, but we're brave with each other. We can't even have a disagreement without hurting and unaliving each other. Every disagreement we have got to turn into fisticuffs. But them other people will take anything off of them. We scared of everybody but each other. We get strategic with them. Oh, it's different ways to skin a cat, but when that cat is black, it's only one way. Hurt them, unalive them. It's only one way with black folks, but it's different ways with everybody else. I just be honest. Time out for play with these other people. We need to get these Arabs out of our neighborhoods, these Asians out of our neighborhoods. And we got to see our stuff on the streets. We got to do something because we don't have any kind of economy for ourselves. We're rich as a people. Like I said, our spending power is more than a lot of nations' GDP. And I said spending power, not all of our money. And it's expected to go up, even without the layoffs. I know about all the black women that were laid off for government jobs, but see, that happened. See, they really after black people. They're not after black women. Just the black women was 20%, 22% of the government workforce because black women, when affirmative action was first started, it was for black people. They included all those people of color and everybody, white women, everyone in. Now we weren't getting anything out of it. But black women were given jobs at first because they were a double minority, black and female. Why hire a black woman when you can get a black woman and cover two bases? But what happened was, so black women was given a lot of jobs, which was good that they got the job. Some one of us got it. But many of the black women start saying, I don't need a man, divorcing their husband. When we do good, well, there's a difference in men and women because when a man start making money in excess, he start thinking about a family. The black woman see it as being independent from a man. Because women, children, and pets are loved. Men are tolerated by what he can produce and give and what he can do for someone. We tolerate it. But getting back to the subject, they fired and I know it was their pleasure to fire those black women, but that's not it. They fired even many more white women. See, and what they're doing now, the reason I say black people have to be careful, they're treating white people like they are N-words now. Do you see those? They're beating white women, dragging them in the street. White men dragging them in the streets. If they do that to them, what have we got coming if we get out there? See, everybody else is on this reconstruction. It used to be just black people. They're reconstructing everybody now, including white women. Even more white women lost jobs than black women have. But I don't care about them. I care about the black women. And I don't care what black women did or what they said. I don't want to see them lose their jobs. That's a really dirty deal. They especially went after the black women. And I hope they pay. One day I hope they pay for every bit of what they did to our women on those jobs. I know they fired white women, but they purposely went after those black women. And they would have went after more black men and more, but not that many black men worked for the government. I'm sure they had some got fired, but they especially, I know they went after white women. They lost jobs. Like I said, I'm not thinking about them. I know it. But if they fired white women, they especially went after those black women. And I hope they pay one day for every bit of it, too. And I hope them women, when we get them out, get their jobs back. And plus more. So we don't need them losing their jobs. They got bills, they got families. And I hope they don't suffer behind it. But that's, many of them was making six figures because, see, most black women that had high figure jobs work for the government. And that's a lot of money to try to make up for. Because I'm sure if you make a lot of money, you're gonna buy expensive things. You're gonna live your income. Now I hope it don't hurt them too bad. I hope many of them, are married or have someone who can, help them out and they don't lose everything. But that's what they want them to do, lose everything. Now, so I hope they have someone who can help them out and they can find a way to get around it. That's a lot of money to lose to go from making maybe 6 figures to nothing, that's really a big disappointment. So, brothers, don't try to talk about make fun of these women. You help them out. The ones who are in their orbit. Maybe someone married, See, a lot of people may not be married but living together, And you get the job, don't leave because you lost a job. We got to help you. We're in a period now, we got to help each other out. They after us as a people. Not as a gender, black women or black men. They after black people. We don't have time to be trying to point fingers at each other right now. Because the same people who think the black men are N-words, they think the same thing about black women. Because if you want to destroy people, what do? You make them men irrelevant. And that's what they did with black men. People don't even mention black men anymore. They just mostly mention black women. Trying to make black men irrelevant. You know what they said a long time ago? Not a long time ago, but they said they're going to make black the new gay. I hate saying gay. I like to say homosexual because gay make it sound too good. But you know why they did that? They wanted to make black men look bad, so that white women would stop getting with black men. Because too many white women, nice looking black women, not those fat ones y'all try to say black men be with. Black men still getting all these nice looking white women. So they wanted to tank black men, but it didn't work. White women didn't pay any attention. Instead, black women picked it up and ran away with it. And always calling black men down low, homosexuals. But white women didn't believe that. They started going after black men more. Everywhere you go, white women trying to hit on you, Asian women, all of them be after black men. Everybody except black women. I'm going to tell you, these other men not going to help you. They're the ones who want to hurt you. Black men, all you got. And I'm going to tell you, more you will be with these other men, but they just don't like y'all like that. They just take you straight to the motel. They just see y'all as something to have fun with. I'm not trying to say this to put you down. I'm just telling the truth. And you know it. These men don't like you. And when they hurt you, when something goes wrong with you, they're not going to help you. That's why we're in this place, man. We got to let all this stuff go and stick together. Because right now, they're suffering too. And one thing about them, when they start suffering, they look for somebody to lash out at. And it's going to be us. Because they've been trained to think bad about us because they need somebody to look down on to keep them from going. Because if you look at it, poor white people should have been siding with black people. They started one time. That's why they had to start with the Reconstruction the first time back in the 1870s. Black people had started protesting and ganging up with white people, with black people. So they had to give white people a status to make them feel like they were better than us. But now, we can't depend on somebody else maybe coming over helping us. We got some times coming along with us. They're after us. They don't care about these Latinos. This is really us who they want. We can't split ourselves up. We're going to have to be united on this. I don't care what problems you got with black women, what problems you got with black men. You have to squash that because these other folks not going. But they may come help us, but we can't depend on that. If they come up in our neighborhoods after us, we're going to be all we got. But these other folks in trouble too. They worried about themselves right now. We don't have time to worry about them. We're doing it the right way right now. Sticking to our own. Letting them fight their fight. But we're going to squash whatever we got against each other because we're not going to make it divided. But right now, black men and black women are like two different entities. But see, when they come after us, they're not going to come after black women or come after black men. They're going to come after black people. And they're not going to discriminate on their own gender. That's to the Christians. That's a scripture that said, if you want to destroy a strong man's house, first you go in and you bind him. But that means you make him irrelevant. That way you can have your way with his house. The women and children is all left and they fair game. They're not going to be able to defend themselves. They bind the man, make him irrelevant. That's what they've been done with black men. Black men are almost irrelevant to black women. And now you wonder why you're having problems? When men build society, men build. When you try to let the women build, you have problems. Men built the black voting machine. Jesse Jackson, Julian Bond, Andrew Young, Roy Ennis. They went through organizations like NAACP, CORE, the Urban League. They did from the streets, not from social media. They went and got people to the poll. Women have taken it over. I'm not saying it to put anybody down. I'm just telling the truth. What victories have we had since women been running black politics? On the state and local level. Maybe on some city levels, state and local levels, what victories have we gotten? We've been taking none but losses. And like I said, I'm not saying to put these down, but just look at the facts. Don't get angry about what I'm saying. Look at the facts. We haven't had any victories. You cannot treat those elections like a sister girl movement, like they're running for the president of a black sorority, female sorority, and think other people are going to vote. The Democratic Party has taken on so much feminism that it's even turning a lot of black men off from it. See, when we talk about all these marginalized communities, we don't have to go down the list, just say marginalized community. Because let's be honest, when you sit and mention all these different people, and it's getting to the place they're not even saying black people anymore. They're saying people of color. We're not people of color, we're black folk. Some people of color can't stand us. But think about it, when you go down there and talk about trans, LGBTQ, be honest. Most people don't want to hear that. They're scared to come out and say it. Because they're putting trans and LGBTQ on the same level as our race. Being a homosexual is not the same as being black. It's not the same as our race. So quit putting that mess in with our race. So I'll say it, a lot of people won't say it. Tell the truth, a lot of you people know you're getting tired of hearing about that trans and LGBTQ. They don't have to say all that, just say the marginalized people. Because the Republicans has taken that and making that trans thing a big thing. How many people even know a trans person? I don't. Except what I see on social media. I don't know any. I don't be in that orbit. And if it is, if there was so many, why come all of us don't know some if there's so many of them? But the Republicans take a talking point. See, But you know why they're being more prosperous and why they're winning? I ain't prosperous, but they're winning. They they're winning on talking points. When you ask a Republican why they voted for Trump, they will just say one thing: why? The economy, immigration. You ask a Democrat what did they vote for? They got a whole laundry list of things. The Democratic Party has made itself so complicated and had become so much a part of the feminist movement. Because the feminist movement has really hurt the black community more than anything else. It did what a whole lot of stuff couldn't do. Because anytime you put your women over your men, you're gonna have problems. And it's the Democratic Party has turned a lot of people off. So many of them didn't even vote. And then be honest with you, Kamala Harris, there are many people showing electronically where things was manipulated that she really won. And I believe that because Trump even said it. He don't have to worry about winning. He gonna have our votes. He said it. Kamala Harris was a superior candidate. I voted for her and I'll vote for her again. But I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not gonna be a female president of any race anytime too soon. And I'm gonna tell you what the Democrats gonna have to do if they want to get the White House back. They're gonna have to run two white males. I'm not saying I agree with him. This is what I want. I'm not talking feelings. I'm talking strategy right now. Anything other than two white males is not going to help you. We can worry about running a woman or a black person and all that later. But right now, you got to get the White House back, Democrats. You're going to run two white males for president and vice president. Like I said, I'm not talking feelings. These are not my feelings. I'm talking strategy, facts. And that's what black folks, that's what we got to do. We got to stop being so emotional and start looking at things from a rational point of view. So we deal in emotions too much. And when you deal in emotion, it stops you from finding out facts. And you just want to go by how you feel. But then you don't have no facts to back those feelings up. But we got to get more strategic. We got to let the men take back control of our communities. Because right now we're losing. And we're going to continue to lose as long as we try to let women lead the community. You women may not like it, but that's the way it is. You don't have to like it. But that's the way it is. So we've been taking L's, losses, ever since women have been running the community. We don't have marriages. Most of the children in our community is being birthed. 80% of the children by less than 20% of the men. I'm surprised brothers and sisters are not going with and marrying each other. So few. The majority of black men is single and childless. And they're not homosexuals either. Like y'all try to claim. They just don't see any women they could get with. When you leave it up to women to choose men, they all gravitate towards the same few men. That's why women and husbands used to be selected for them. I know a lot of you women mad don't like what I'm saying, but I'm not saying this out of feelings. I'm saying this out of facts. And what history has shown. And most of the men that the women are having these children by, they're not the best quality of men. That's why you see one man. I know I told you this before. Guy I know at the time he's in his 30s now. He's had more children since then. I haven't seen him since, but I heard he's had more children. At the time, he was 28 years old. He had 18 children when he was 28. And he's had some more since then. That's why you'll find one man with all these multiple children by different baby mamas. This other man don't have, next other man don't have any children. And most of the men having all these babies don't even have anything. Because most working class black men are middle class or above. And most of them don't have children. 51% of them, 54% of them don't even have children. There's something wrong with that math. I'm just stating facts. I know most of the time you say stuff like this, the women get angry and stop listening. Oh, trying to find something to throw back at you. You may have something to throw back at me. Oh, you can't say nothing. You got a bald head, all that old kind of stuff. But how is that helping your situation any? How is that helping black people's situation any? Business as usual is not going to work for us. It's not working now, and it's not going to work in the future. The way things are going now, we better get it together. But it's not. I mean, they really want us. They want us out of here. If they could. It's really us. Do you know Lincoln has started deporting slaves back to Africa? That's the nation of Liberia, mostly from Virginia. Liberia was founded by former slaves. You know how that happened? Lincoln had started deporting them, mostly from Virginia. But he was killed, and it stopped. Lincoln had actually started deporting slaves back to Africa until he was killed. No, I'm sorry, I keep saying that word I have to say, until he was unalived. And he stopped deporting them. So that sets up a red flag when you say the K words, you have to say unalived. Yeah, that's how the nation of Liberia was started. It started by former slaves. Well, they took it really in a revolution, and eventually won. Yeah, but so they they really wanted us. They really want us up out of here. They want the Latinos going to stop the browning of the United States. They're angry at them for helping to elect Obama. But it's really us who they want up out of here. And if we're going to be divided, that's not going to help us any. We're going to have to come together and find a way around this mess. Because it is a mess, and they're not done with us yet. They stopped every program that they thought helped us. Thought it was going to make us get out marching over it and all that. We didn't do none of that stuff. So they saw us not getting out that door or anything. So what they did, they brought in National Guards now, tried to get them to go come up in our neighborhoods after us. We didn't engage them. They don't know what to do. They don't know we stopped protesting after Ferguson. But people didn't even notice that. So, I'm going to have to get ready to go. Hit my cash app if you can, but not, just do what I do. So I'm gonna call it a night. But look, think about what I said. Don't get angry because of stuff I say, but think about it. Because right now, whatever you think about it's a business as usual. It's not working. So we have to think some kind of way in a new way. But so look, I want to thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Water. Bye next time. Thanks for tuning in.